Streaming, we're streaming.
Real
Is it
streams.
receiving? It looks like it is. And good morning. Welcome back to Mind Your Biz. My name is Seth, and you are watching a full 360-degree roundup of markets, including mining, including what's profitable, a portfolio that we've had tracked for over 2 years at this point. Almost going on 2 years now. In addition to the legacy interviews that we've done right here on Mind Your Biz that are many years old, nobody does it quite like we do it. So thank you for being here, smashing the thumbs up, that like button, being subscribed, and turning on all notifications. It makes a big difference. Without any further ado, I have with me the lovely Mama Biz. Mimi, how are you?
I'm great. Good morning, miners.
Hey, let's go ahead and jump into the Fear and Greed Index. Can you read it off for the boys?
31 today.
Yeah, 31. Oh, you know
Looks like
what?
greed is up.
And it looks like we've got a little bit of an issue right there. Let me make sure that we've got this set on the screen. There it is. Miners, you can see it. What is it again?
31.
Oh, it's a single.
There's our number, but it's up.
Yeah,
Our greed is up. Yay.
Is this good though?
Not if you want to buy.
Right? Is it bad?
Eh.
Well, let's do this. Let's make sure that people know whether or not we're trying to give them any kind of financial advice by talking about the Fear and Greed Index. Are we? No, we're not.
Nope.
If
This
you
is
think that
all
we
opinion.
are new here, do me a solid. And we got so much news to recover right now. Is that showing up over on Mind Your Biz?
Looking it up.
Yeah, let's take a look. It should be showing up under the live tab. If you don't see it under the live tab, there you go. Night 1 in jail. We should be seeing confirmation right there. But if you're not seeing this over on YouTube, complain to the manager, Karen. Go complain to the manager. It does. That matters too, okay? Jokes. But no, we're not trying to give you any kind of legal, financial, or investing advice by talking about the Fear and Greed Index. It's just a very useful indicator. We view it as a counter indicator, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Buy low, sell high. That's like the name of the game, right?
Exactly. And hey, I see Automatic Pizza in the chat saying, good morning, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Wednesday morning. We are going to look at a slightly different time for doing these live streams. We are not able to do that right away. It'd be nice if we could just jump straight in, but work schedules being what they are, I am answerable to other people. And so, middle of the day, people expect you to be available for meetings, expect you to be available to execute certain work-related tasks and freelance, right? So it's the thing. I'm still a working stiff. I don't just invest full time. I guess I do. I am involved in crypto media full time, but still answerable to other people, and I make myself accountable to you in these live streams. So thank you so much for being here, being supportive. Let's check out our NFTgo.io. Their NFT market sentiment barometer, highly correlated to the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. What do you see there, Mimi?
Well, I see a 29. What was the number on Tuesday? I don't remember.
Remember Tuesday was a 24, I think.
Okay.
So we are moving up there as well.
Okay, so sentiment is moving up. People are feeling more comfortable. SBF is in jail. We're okay.
Yeah, finally.
All the problems are gone.
The bad man disappeared, so crypto can heal now. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about
Crypto
that.
can heal and be regulated, and we can all adopt one of those words. CBDCs.
Yeah.
No, please don't.
Yeah, right. Thank you for the heads up there.
This is where the real work comes in, right?
Yeah, it's so obviously the direction that the industry is going. Thank you so much, audience, for being okay with my backdrop. I'm using a different filter for the backdrop because we're in different areas of the house and in different locations throughout the world, increasingly different locations throughout the United States and the world. So we need production that can travel with us. So thank you for letting us adapt and grow as well, just to that. But yeah, this index right here, the barometer, not too different. There's a blue chip index for the so-called blue chip NFT projects, and this is going to become relevant over the coming weeks and months. But why? Why? Well, I contend it's going to become relevant as we see a little bit less support for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some other major crypto assets. People are going to look for a place of safety to put their profits into, put their gains into. And stables are one side of the industry, but there's not enough liquidity in all the stables to be able to hold up everybody's crypto assets. You're going to need something else. You're going to need everybody's crypto assets. You're going to need something else. You're going to need NFTs. In the real world, people tend to put their cash, their excess reserves from investments into things like fine art. And so I think that NFTs are going to fill that role in a lot of ways. Same with other commodities like gold and silver. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We should talk a little bit more about about the rest of the news cycle before I jump into that. We also talk often about how these are highly correlated markets. Let me just double check to make sure that our chart here on Crypto Bubbles is set up the way it should be. Mimi, what is standing out to you?
Let's see. Let's look at what's up and let's look at what's down. Tone is up again.
Yeah. Ton coin.
Ton coin.
It's weird.
I'm at tone coin.
I think it's better the way you said it. Tone coin.
Ton coin.
But let's go. Maybe we check out the 1-day chart also, so we kind of see what's happening more recently.
But it's down on the 1 day. Oh,
that's rough.
Okay.
Yeah, USDN, it's that stablecoin that depegged, apparently has depegged further. Neutrino USD was at about 70 cents when we looked into it last, and now at 63. Look at that. That's steep fall off.
Yeah.
Right off a cliff. Like,
boom.
Nope. I don't know what's going on there. It's just very obvious that you got $500 million worth of value, and it's been cut down from what it was before. That's hundreds of millions of dollars of investor money that is clearly just gone in what they thought was a stable coin. Not good.
Tell me a little bit about this coin.
So Neutrino USD is a stable coin that is not reserved. It's not backed one-to-one with assets. Now, I don't know exactly how it's generated. We need to take a look at exactly the Neutrino USD platform. So we can do that over on CoinGecko. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab on CoinGecko. We got a lot of tabs going here, so I'm like, Neutrino USD. There we go, USDN, and it looks like we can go backwards from this way here. Oh, and you know what else? It looks like the market cap is not being accurately reported over on Crypto Bubbles versus over here on CoinGecko. CoinGecko is showing us a market cap of only about $62 million as opposed to $500 million. So I don't know what's going on there, but there's clearly a disconnect between those two data sources. Bottom line is, though, here we can see all of the rest of the information that's relevant to this and see more about the project by starting from a data source like CoinGecko, right? It shows us everything about it, including the chart a little bit. These aren't like real-time charts. It's not going to show us everything about the background of Neutrino USD, but it's a good starting point, right? So all the background, it oftentimes will give us even a little bit of a summary here. So yeah, USDN, there you go. Thanks. Yeah, we know. You can trade Neutrino USD on WX network. Popular trading pairs for it are USD, Canadian dollar, Aussie dollar, pound sterling. Yeah. So I don't know these other, is that the Filipino dollar or whatever else? Like, I don't know these other ticker symbols, but they appear to be the cash tags of major Forex pairs. So I think it's meant to be used in Forex trading, is what it looks like. And just not a good look. I don't have any exposure to Neutrino USD. We don't have any exposure to Neutrino USD because I think of that use case. It doesn't fit us as, as an investor profile. So I'm not too shocked that we're not like feeling any kind of a pinch from this, but it's clearly kind of niche also, right? WX network, don't use it. So if it's not decentrally obtainable on, say, like Uniswap or one of the other DEXs, I don't want it. And that's why we haven't gotten an exposure to any coins like this, is because it's not easy for us to deal with in that way. So I know that doesn't fully answer the question, right? But
that gives me some clarification.
Yeah. So, and this is the process too. Like, it's what makes dealing with cryptocurrencies so difficult for the average consumer. Oh my gosh. There you go. One, so painful. So painful. Yeah. Just my heart goes out to anybody who's holding a heavy bag of this stuff. Jeez, can you imagine?
Ouch.
Yeah, but more info here. We can find its website there as well. And let's go ahead and pull that up instead of just this. Now we will see, there you go, infrastructure for plug-and-play algorithmic finance. Neutrino is an algorithmic price-stable assetization protocol acting as an accessible DeFi toolkit. It enables the creation of stablecoins pegged to specific real-world assets, such as national currencies or commodities. Clearly, that's not working out so well. And their sweetheart here, right? Their darling is the Neutrino USD, USDN. Not a good look for it to destabilize so much over the last year. Algorithmic stablecoins, let's just face it, they're really hard to do well. And so I'm not surprised when stuff like this kind of implodes. It's not easy to do, but it is necessary. We have to solve this problem in DeFi to get past the issues of not having a fully auditable reserved supply of assets in, say, like Tether or Binance USD, because I mean, we were trying to get away from the banking system. So to have a stable coin that's issued by saying like, oh, don't worry about it, we've got all that money in a bank. What could go wrong, right? Like, if I told you, Mimi, that I was holding $15 billion in US dollars in a bank here, how would you be able to prove that?
I don't know.
Audience, I put it to you. If I told you that you had $15 billion in a bank, how would you prove that? How would you prove without any doubt that $15 billion is definitely in that bank? I contend you wouldn't be able to do it very easily. Corey writes this in the chat, says, what's up, my busies? And Automatic Beats still here, probably algorithmic. Knew it. Damn, Luna. Yep. Kevin Hawthorne also says, good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Kevin, so great to see you in the chat. Really appreciate what you do for your community. It's always so humbling that you choose to spend time with us. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. But yeah, Corey writes says, good call. Yeah. It's unfortunate, right? But we know that there are problems on either side of stablecoin issuance. If you say that they're one-to-one backed or if they're algorithmically backed, it's just really hard. It's hard to make something that has a consistent value. It's really hard unless we start basing our currencies off of, say, like, you know, atomic minerals or something, and say like, it's okay, it's based on the decay rate of some kind of like radioactive, like commodity, some kind of radioactive metal, semi-precious metal, where you just say like, oh no, it's like an atomic clock. We count down this amount of time. There's a rare supply. And so somewhere between, say, like basing currency on gold and basing currency on science, right, or algorithms.
Well, this is kind of what took me a long time to even get interested in crypto. Even with like my husband, you know, involved for years in crypto, I was just kind of like, well, I don't understand. Like, there's no tangibility. I just can't wrap my head around it. You know, like, to me, the gold standard makes sense, you know? And it wasn't until we had more in-depth conversations about like the nature of Bitcoin. And then you just started describing, you know, other aspects of other crypto coins to me that I kind of began to like get it a little bit more, like, oh, it's not just like digital this, digital that. There's a little bit more to it. But it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. I don't know. That, like, for the common man, like, you know, common person like me, like, I think that's why we haven't had mass adoption yet, because most people are like, so it's just digital currency? Is that all it is?
but what most people don't realize is that our currency is already digital,
right?
Right? Like, it's been digital for most of our lives, actually. I mean, far longer than we realized.
I know, you just made me think of a movie. It was a movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Sean Connery. I know, super old school, right?
It's a good one though.
But yeah. It is a bank heist movie where like they break into the bank and it's just a bunch of servers, and she's just gonna download billions of dollars, and he's just like, what happened to money? That's literally what the character says. What happened to money?
It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what remind me?
I don't remember the name.
It's a good one though. Yeah, where Catherine Zeta-Jones is a cat, like, you know, cat burglar or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, Sean Connery is an old school smash and grab burglar. And they have to work. It's a phenomenal movie. I remember when you showed it to me, I was like, this is so good. Like, yeah, there are some movies that just like that age really well. And, you know, and a lot of them happen to have Sean Connery in them. Just saying. Anyway, so Corey Wright says, really good movie, LOL. Yeah, it's software, not money. That's the thing. Current dollars are software, not money, and the Fed gets to just add zeros to the end of to one side of the money supply, or delete them as they see fit. Right? Quantitative tightening.
Well, and seriously, as I was talking to a friend of mine, like when I was just learning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I'm understanding crypto now, and everyone needs to get into crypto. And I was talking to my friend who's also kind of alarmist about the state of the world, you know. And as I was talking to her, she just completely shut the conversation down. She's just like, nope, I have to be a complete prepper because I'm just ready for the whole grid to go down in a giant EMP. She's like, so none of that matters because it can all be destroyed in an EMP. The end, you know? Yeah,
she's wrong, though. And that's just it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of preppers who understand the need for cryptocurrency and understand the need for redundant communication systems, because we live in a world and in a society
they remembered the
name. Automatic
entrapment.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. Thank you for the save there. The homeboy coming through with the name right there. Appreciate that. But yeah, Entrapment is a great film. We should do a react video to Entrapment. And we should do like Entrapment if it were cryptocurrency, right? Like, or like almost like the how it should have ended style like videos where we just, anyway, that'd be a lot of fun.
We might be very disillusioned if we watch it now.
Yeah, but we could always do an edit of it and just chop it down to its essentials.
So like
it's
a 5-minute.
Yeah, 5-minute plot, just like plot retcon. We could do it. Just saying.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we could.
You could do the Sean Connery voiceover, and I could do the Catherine Zeta-Jones
What you mean, my darling? we could do it. We could do it. In a different world, we would. That's all we would do is voiceover media, right? But yeah, so great movie though. And yeah, to your point, unfortunately, people they get the wrong idea about this entire scene because they think it needs to be tangible. I have to hold it. Well, that's a cool story, bro. But I showed it to you, Mimi. A friend of mine was able to tour a private vault that is held, that's for high net worth individuals that holds all kinds of precious metals and stones. And he was permitted to hold a 30 kilogram ingot made of solid silver. It was unreal, right? And you saw how small it was for being 30 kilograms. It was like, man, it's a dense metal. But like, what are you going to do when somebody's like, oh, yeah, I want to trade milk and eggs for some silver? And you're like, oh, no problem. Let me take out my 30 kilogram ingot and shave off a little quarter. It's not practical. Those preppers wind up having to use pre-1964 American dimes because of the weight of silver that's inside of those and because it's easier and more portable. But even then, like, what are you going to do? What if you want to buy something that is a fraction of the value of that thing? Now you got to trade in bulk. And the local economy may not support it. Like there are problems with the prepper mindset too of divisibility and fungibility. One doesn't always equal one of something else. And having to divide something else to make the thing you're trading equal to one of something else is hard. Like these are hard problems to solve in the real world. And being a prepper and making sure that you have whatever gold and silver doesn't make that go away. Or trying to trade, say, like lead and brass, which is another way of doing it. Like, I'm much more partial to that. We've got more lead and brass than we would, air quotes, need in the event of an emergency situation. But that's part of it is that like, that's more inherently useful, right? It's got direct utility and that somebody can take it and say like, okay, well, I might not hold on to this as currency, but I can go use it, right? So I need that right now. You need eggs right now or milk right now. I need that right now because I need meat, right? So, or I need personal defense. So like, let me trade some of your lead and brass for some of my food. And, and we've got a great trade. Of course, preppers also have to think about all that issue of like, well, with my lead and brass, I can just go take your food. I'd rather be friends. I would way rather be friends with my neighbors, right? And have a mutual aid association or an agreement there. But the point is,
build your local community. That's the message there.
Yeah, have friends. Have friends. It's not going to be like a television show. By. It's not going to be like a TV show where everybody is gone and you just roving bands of like thugs and gangs and or The Walking Dead. Like if it winds up like that, trust me, you ain't making it. You're not going to be the one that becomes Rick Grimes. Sorry, hate to burst your bubble, but most people aren't going to be Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead. And even if you are, didn't he die before the final season anyway?
I think his character did die. Yeah,
there you go. Eventually. That's the point. Like
that was the most depressing show.
And that's exactly the point. You do not want that outcome, so don't choose the sword. All right, Neutrino USD. Back to the original thread starter.
Yes.
Whew, that was a nice
tangent.
A nice long tangent. Good, vigorous, thoroughly exhausting tangent. Don't you love those? Good tangent.
Yes, I like tangents.
All right, so here we are. I mean, lots of red bubbles on the daily. Oof.
Chili's is up a little bit.
Chili's is up? No way.
Just a little bit.
Man, bit. It's that little project that could, right? It keeps on getting a bunch of love. And I still don't fully understand its fundamental use case. I think some of the data feeds here are not right, though. Again, as we saw with Neutrino USD. Let me make sure that I didn't read that wrong, though. No, it says the market cap is $500 million. That's a huge disconnect from the data source over on CoinGecko. So I don't know. Crypto bubbles, maybe we got a little bit of some problems going on with the data feed here. Just saying. I mean, it's useful, but it'd be a lot more useful if it were accurate, right? So taking a look at that fear and greed index again, and I think that this is a trailing indicator. You've heard me say it before. I think it usually follows price. Here's our Bitcoin chart. Mimi, let me just tell you, Bitcoin, it is great. It's a great asset. Oh, I told Chat GPT to try to sell Bitcoin to me as though it was Donald Trump. Did I tell you that? Mm-hmm. It was awesome. The best. Anyway, lots of fun. We'll have to do that another time. Chat GPT and AI is, sweetie, it's here. There's no two ways about it. Like when people talk about the threat of AI, it's here. I work in marketing, and I can tell you, I can promise you, it's going to be disruptive. It's already disruptive. You're already consuming media that has been in part or in whole produced by AI. Good luck. Yeah.
We're all being replaced by robots.
Yeah. But back to the Bitcoin chart. So here's our current daily chart over on TradingView, just using the free tools available on TradingView. I've added the 200 and the 50-day moving averages on as an overlay here because we talked recently about the golden cross and the death cross, right? As
Yes.
just things you can be aware of. And that's that 250 and the 50-day moving average where it looked like we were going to experience a cross here. We didn't. And then they have not converged again yet. They haven't crossed again yet. They've converged, right? Looks like a little whatever, like like Bollinger Bands or like something moving around it. But it hasn't actually crossed over yet. And a lot of people are asking, like, what will happen? And well, the Litecoin experienced that golden cross, and then everybody got complacent. Everyone's putting their Litecoin back on exchanges now. So I don't know. I take all of this technical analysis stuff with a grain of salt, including the death cross and the golden cross. People love to talk about it like it's the most important thing ever. And I'm like, can't be bothered. You still don't know what people are going to choose to do. Right. So it does boil down to some of that sentiment. And I think we still have a little more pain to experience. So there are some formations here. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like kind of a fourth leg up. Big, strong green candle day. Little hatchet right there. Upside down tomahawk and red candle back down. Are we going to see another red candle day back to back? I don't know. Mimi. What's Bitcoin going to do?
It is either going to go up or down.
What did you just say? Shut up. No way.
Up or down.
Up or down? What is she right? Is it going to go up or down? Okay. This is a revelation. I've never heard this before. Revolutionary. I'm pretty sure you just broke the internet, and everybody who is at all involved in cryptocurrency is like, what's going on here? Okay, so thumbs up. Be sure that you have all notifications turned on. Gundy7 Things is in the chat, says, yo! Good morning, Crypto Nation. That's exactly how he said it, too. I mean, he wrote it with a lot of O's, so I had to say it a lot longer. He didn't write it in all caps, though, so I didn't shout, but that was pretty close.
And all caps, you would have had to put a little G in front of their goal.
I know, right? Yeah. It's like, let's go. Yeah, I scared somebody away. The concurrent viewers are like, you're scary. And frankly, I think I probably need to wear a hat like that most of the time. The sensory integration stuff, Mimi knows. So it's like, please be patient. I have autism. So yeah, but I apologize for the loud noises. I promise we won't have any strobing flashing lights either. So Automatic Beat says, that is financial advice, up or down. And Gandhi Stefan Thing says 50% up, 50% down. I think actually you're probably about right. Where we are right now, it is about a 50-50 split because we're right at an inflection point, because we have those formations coming through, couple of those, right? A couple of those formations where we tend to see a couple of bounces, right? And then it winds up doing this really strong move to the upside or the downside. In the same way that right now, right, we see, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost exactly a week, right, of this formation. And then it moves up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It moves up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on the 7th day here, it broke the pattern. It moved down, right? We had a red candle on that 7th day, and it was 1, 2, 3 on the third formation here. It's so weird how these patterns just kind of pop in where it's not like 2, right? It's like, get creative, right? Move like Fred Astaire. Move on the 1s and 2s. Don't be so predictable, Bitcoin. But, Bitcoin does what it wants, I guess. So, yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know a whole lot about where this is supposed to go, but I will place the chopsticks somewhere else if I can. Let's see if this, it wants to let me. So we have been showing this movement up. Now I'm going to place the chopsticks, not because I think this is a prediction of where it's going to head, but just because we've been moving up in this channel. So go to the bottom of that green candle there and trace it to the bottom of that green candle there all the way up, and start at that green candle and move up to that green candle. It is an upward channel. And this is just me saying that I think my expectation is at some point it's going to break out to the downside. It's not going to continue in this path, right? It's going to break away because Bitcoin does what it wants, right? It doesn't do always what we expect it to do. So people are now thinking, well, it's moving up, so it's up only. Oh, Bitcoin is going to go forever. You don't understand. It's the new economy in which the dollar loses value and Bitcoin always loses and gains strength against it.
Yeah, let's just see what happens with all the new regulations coming out in the wake of FTX fallout.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's going to hurt.
Are you kidding? Yeah. This is the government going like this right here, gearing up to give us a right-hand haymaker, right? Like it's going to hit us hard. It's going to hit really, really hard. People are just not ready for the clothesline of regulation. So I totally agree there. But hey, that's a brief look at the charts. I don't ever try to oversell my ability as some kind of technician. I just like looking at them so I'm not blind. And I do see that we're kind of like moving up and to the right. And so it is a more likely bet that if it's going to break its current pattern, it'll break it to the downside because we still expect more pain. Anyway, throwing that out there. And got more comments coming in. Gundy7 saying, awesome. He's dabbing it up in the chat. The Deadwood, good morning, family. Just got in from the frozen dog park. Oh, my gosh.
Yikes.
How's Doggo doing? We just do a little quick walk with ours.
Oh, look, he's got Roddy's, though.
Yeah.
Our dog is like, he's a little wimp. He's like a little Maltese poodle.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, he literally wears a pink sweater to go out. A boy dog wears his pink sweater to go out on a walk.
He's always so happy in his sweater.
He is, though. He's such a poodle. He's such Maltese. He's such a toy poodle, right? Where it's like, okay, yeah, got it. You love being dressed up and you like having your hair cut. You like, you like being bathed and held like a little whatever sinister Bond villain cat. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I don't know.
Roddy's are great. I had a Rottweiler as a kid and she was the best.
Yeah.
I love Rottweilers.
No, Gretchen was a beautiful dog for sure. Yeah, I got to know her before the end, but I didn't know her when she was younger. It's too bad.
She was very sweet.
We'll let it happen. I mean, it'll happen eventually for us. A bit here in the Casa de Mind Your Biz, we've got too many kids with autism. So having very strong-willed and overprotective dogs that think they can put themselves at the head of the pack when an autistic person shows a little bit of permissiveness, social permissiveness, not a good thing.
Yeah, we have.
In my opinion, you don't want Rottweilers, you don't want pits around kids with autism.
Well, we have to stick with very submissive dogs. It's such a I think that Rottweilers, Pit Bulls, I think they are great dogs, but I do think that they require very responsible, assertive, dominant owners. That's just the nature of like, if you're going to have that breed, you better let them know you're in charge because those are strong animals.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's my take on it.
I could probably make it work. I think we got one that I think would really struggle with it though. One of ours that would really struggle with it. So we'd have to it'd be good life training for him though. Frankly, it would be. But here's the thing. If it didn't go that particular kid's way, it could get really messy without us around.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel confident leaving a Rottweiler alone with our boy with autism. So yeah, just throwing it out there, but this isn't a dog show. Wait, could be though. Dog and pony show.
Hey.
It is about crypto. It is a person. Hey, speaking of Rottweilers, there's our neighbor walking their Rottweiler right now. Perfect transition for us to talk about the current DEX volume. I really love this measurement over on DeFi Llama. I think this is just as important as anything else. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. No, not SBF. All the jokers who run centralized exchanges. We're seeing volume over, check this out, total volume on not 24 hour, but total volume ever on Uniswap, over $1 trillion transacted on Uniswap. You love to see it. It's great. I mean, this is phenomenal. It's one of those proofs that what we're doing matters, that us working and playing in the DeFi space and with decentralized finance, or decentralized finance as a primitive across various different chains. I don't care which chain you're on. If you're doing this instead of a bank, you are part of the resistance. You're making a difference. Like, you're voting with your dollars, you're voting with your feet. You're showing that you want to opt out of the legacy system. So Mind Your Risk community, congrats. You did it, right? Like, this is great. Great measure of making that work. Curve as a protocol, it's a lending protocol, decentralized lending protocol. Participation in that protocol is also very bullish. It's not nearly on the same magnitude as Uniswap, people providing liquidity and trading and buying, right, over there. But it's still bullish to see there's hundreds of millions on the daily in volume over there, and cross-chain, multiple different chains. All the other DeFi platforms that you see, Dodo, PancakeSwap, Balancer, BuySwap, et cetera, you see that they're all doing well. Now, unfortunately, you see some of the other platforms that are native to just one chain, they're not doing so hot. They're down on the 7-day. A few of them, like SushiSwap, you hate to see its volume go down, but it's well below $50 million. And it's just one of those markets where people sort of aggregate strength. They run back to strength if they can in their assets. That's why we got the Bitcoins flying behind me right now. We will do some additional filters for the backdrop in future shows. Don't worry, I want to build some for the Snap filter ecosystem, because there's decidedly few. So I'm gonna make more of those. Don't worry about it. But yeah, you hate to see some of those projects that should be getting more love kind of, falling by the wayside. But yeah, yeah, we did get a little derailed talking about dog stuff. Here's the thing, man. I'm not going to apologize. I grew up thinking that I was a cat person because my parents just had cats.
You had one dog.
We had we had 2 dogs.
Oh, I have not heard of the second dog. I've only heard of that Cocker Spaniel.
The Cocker Spaniel was an absolute nightmare, pain in the butt. We also had a German Shepherd.
What?
Yeah. And the German Shepherd didn't last long for us. We did not have that German Shepherd past the puppy phase because my mom couldn't keep up with it, and none of us had been trained enough to know how to stay ahead of a German Shepherd and keep it where it needed to be.
Well, I can't imagine your mom had her hands full with all of you guys.
Right.
Throw a German Shepherd in there, a nightmare.
It was way too much.
Yeah.
That poor lady. She's a saint, right? Like she's probably secured her place in heaven, like whatever, in the afterlife for those 15 years, where she was like the ring of fire, right, with a ton of kids running around. And
15.
Yeah.
I think it's more than 15.
It's been more, but the ring of fire was like 15 years, right? It was like nonstop. No, you're right. It was more than 15.
There's more overlap than that.
It was so long. She put in work back then. So bless her heart. Dog was just not gonna make it into the pack. She already had a pack of humans. So yeah, taking a look at that volume, I think that's a phenomenal marker of success right there. Yeah, there are chains that are doing better, but doesn't matter, I think, in my opinion. What to Mine is showing us profitability numbers for several GPUs, and you're looking at 30 cents for the brand new RTX 4090, a $2,000 GPU. Why would you buy it for mining? You wouldn't. We haven't. We won't. And you got these characters on YouTube, like Linus from Linus Tech Tips, saying he's going to fully pass that generation. He's not going to buy anything from NVIDIA for the entire 4000 series generation because of the way that they've treated influencers and third-party board manufacturers. So there's
Tell me about that.
It's pretty bad. Like they apparently the terms that they've forced their third-party board partners to deal with in terms of making an NVIDIA product, right? So a GPU that has the NVIDIA chip at its heart, right, at its core. There are third-party manufacturers that can license the technology and get that chip from them, and then build out the full commercial product that goes out to retail, right? So third-party companies like Zotac is one big name. PNY is another really big name. They make the reference boards. And they had a massive manufacturer just drop out and say, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. We only made NVIDIA products, and we're just not going to make GPUs anymore. We have motherboards over here. We have other little products that we make on the side, like technology enthusiasts, people who build PCs the way you've seen me do over the years, and people who we know, like, build these PCs. They just said, we've got so many other products, and yeah, GPUs were a big part of our business, but we just don't care. It's that painful. We're like, it might look like we're chopping off our own nose to spite our face. Don't care. We're just done. And then this review channel, right, Linus Tech Tips, said, like, yeah, and actually, you know what? They've been kind of crappy towards us too, the creators. where they've given us highly restrictive instructions, like you can't talk about this product until this date and under these circumstances, and you're going to sign this NDA, and we'll send you this test review kit only at our leisure at this time. And I mean, I get it. Some of this technology, when it comes to marketing it, there's a way to stay ahead of say like information leaks and marketing leaks, but NVIDIA has just been so essentially the word on the street is they've been like outright abusive of those relationships. And so a lot of people are just saying they're done, right? They're just done. Speaking of being done, hey, Mind Your Biz audience, have you already done the thing where you click the buttons down below, you share while we're live, and you make sure that you have all notifications turned on after subscribing? Because if you haven't, I'm just going to say that would be a really good idea and much appreciated. Thanks so much. So Deadwood comes through with some childhood trauma here. Was never allowed a dog growing up. Hold on, I gotta use a voice here. I was never allowed a dog growing up. American Staffordshire was my first. I adopted my Rod because the prior owner didn't maintain good food and health. Well, I took her rather than watch her suffer.
Here, here.
Good man. That's amazing. Seriously.
Yeah.
Rescues are important. And people who know how to take care of a rescue, that's important too. So good on you. But yeah, so that's the story behind NVIDIA. A bit like the Deadwood's abused Rottweiler, there are a lot of people who are saying, you know what? We need a new technology company to take us in. We need a technology company that will not treat us like crap, that will actually feed us what we need at the right times, right? And NVIDIA just didn't fit. So there are a lot of people who are saying, yeah, we don't care how high performance this new device is, how cool it is, how well it renders games and, makes the gameplay. We don't care if it can like literally power like an 8K monitor at like really fast frame rates, looking gorgeous and stuff. You can wow us all you want. If you treat us like crap, guess what? There's this recession thing that's happening in the world. We're not going to give you $2,000, even if it's really good. So, and we're going to tell our audience of millions of people on YouTube that we're not going to buy your stuff. See how you like that? So there's a bit of a social thing going on there against NVIDIA right now. Yeah, Team Green is kind of taking a PR hit at the moment. And, I'm not going to say that we're like jumping in with that. The mining sensibility is if it makes money, it makes money, right? So it's a business. It's a business decision first. But I mean, look at this, 30 cents per day against $2,000 initial investment. You gonna make that trade? You gonna
tell
bet?
me, you are the professional, Mr.
Okay.
Mine.
Okay. Well, that will go up over time, so there it won't be a forever problem there. But there are some issues with the way that it hashes Ethereum, the Ethereum algorithm, and AMD doesn't have that problem. It just doesn't. It's got some like high cost parts here, but it's not the same thing. Let me jump in while we're talking about GPU mining, guys. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering like, why are you talking so much about GPU mining? Well, here's in a nutshell, here's my macro thesis on mining and on GPU mining. It's that those ASICs, the hot loud boxes that are sold from Chinese manufacturers, which they pre-mine the crap out of and only sell to you after they've stopped being profitable, they also happen to be a very centralizing force because you've got so much, the way that they run, the economics make it only accessible to large angel investment groups and VC groups. So if you're not buying those like $5 million at a time, you're not really in business. It's very hard to stay competitive. Somebody who has a brand new GPU in a gaming rig, they can choose to mine or not mine. And so the hash rate that secures the networks is kind of elastic. It sort of grows or shrinks depending on how many people are doing this. And a GPU, sweetie, we can drive across town to Best Buy or to when we're in LA or any other major city, we can go to Fry's, right? When there's a large location like that, we can go.
Fry's still exist.
I think so.
Yeah.
Did it? The one in Van Nuys, right?
I don't know.
I thought it was still around.
I don't know if it's still there.
Man, here's the thing. That lockdown really messed up a lot of stuff, so I haven't checked in.
Yeah.
Somebody chime in. How's Fry's doing? Did it like totally shut down every location? Because I thought a couple of locations remained. Point is, we can drive to a location there, and there's product distribution of those GPUs around the world where we can go to a computer parts store. We can go to a technology store. We can buy one. We could bring it home. We could start gaming with it or mining with it. And so it assists in the decentralization of those networks. It's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal in my mind. So that's why I'm so bullish on GPU mining. People say, "Whoa, CPU mining is better. Every laptop has a CPU in it. You don't need these custom graphics processors." And I would agree with that, except that there are problems there too. It's very common, right, for say like Russian or North Korean hackers to do what's called a botnet, or to create malware that takes over people's computers and mines secretly in the background on all kinds of computers like that. Well, people who are just tech savvy enough to get into building a computer for gaming, or who buy a PC gaming rig, it's not that hard for them to reinstall Windows or to do some of the upkeep to prevent those things from happening. It winds up happening less often, less frequently. So there's a strong case for decentralization with GPUs specifically. Not ASICs, not CPUs, but right in the middle, those GPUs. And it helps to decentralize the network. There are gamers in every continent of the world, people who like playing video games. And so that hardware is going to be available in all those places. So anyway, that's kind of my rant there. That's why I'm so focused on GPU mining on the Mind Your Biz channel. It's how we started the channel, was publishing numbers on how you could make the best choices there. I know I should do an updated spreadsheet. I'm probably going to release that in my newsletter, mindyourbiz.substack.com. So take a look for that. There might be accompanying video, but there might not be. So be sure that you're signed up for the newsletter if you want to see the latest update on that. So maybe I stopped talking about it too heavily right now, but the point is, there's a reason. There's a reason we started with mining considerations, and there's a reason that we continue talking about mining. And that's because GPU mining, I think, is going to really help it helps to decentralize crypto. There are projects that take it seriously, other projects that don't. And I think the projects that don't tend to suffer. Zcash is one of them. Bitcoin, let's see how many Bitcoin versions of Bitcoin that moved away from it. A couple of forks of Bitcoin moved away from it, and then Ethereum that moved away from it. And I think that it is going to cause these projects to suffer over time when they move away from GPU mining specifically and allow it to be mined by an ASIC. So it just seems obvious to me that over time it's going to be a problem. And I think that's been proven by some of these networks. So yeah, it's pretty important, I think. Let's quickly pull up, let's see, the 6600 XT by AMD with Ethereum performance at 32 mega hashes per second. So the old GPUs that we have that were debuted in 2016, just as high performance as this right now, if you can believe that. So it's weird. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The efficiency hasn't really vastly improved with some of these new generations of GPUs. So there we go. Oh, come on. 570. There we go. 580. We'll put it right there. 130 watts is not exactly accurate. I've definitely seen more efficiency than that. But we do need some additional options here, because we have some projects that are not on what to mine yet that would probably blow your mind, and they throw off some of those calculations. But without getting too deep in the weeds there, because I mentioned we've kind of gone too far on GPU mining. Without getting too deep in the weeds, there's always something to mine on GPUs. Not always the case on ASICs. Always something to mine on GPUs. The cost to mine one full Bitcoin. Mimi, did you know the cost to mine one full Bitcoin has gone down again?
No.
Yeah. So if you're on 8-cent power and you're using an ASIC, if you really feel strongly about Bitcoin only, the cost to mine one full Bitcoin has gone down by about $100. So you're acquiring one full Bitcoin for about $13.1 now. That's including the pool fee, the electricity fee. That's how much you're paying to get your Bitcoin. So if you didn't worry about trying to sell Bitcoin in order to pay off your costs every day, that's it. Now, your break-even point would be 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So you got to get to that 8-cent power or less. If you can manage to do like 6-cent power or something ridiculous like that, it would help you out a ton. But 8-cent power gets it done, and it gets it done for about $13,000 per Bitcoin. How you like them apples? Not bad, right?
Hey.
So yeah, moving on. We got a little more by way of tooling that I wanted to show off to the Mind Your Biz community. I found a new resource that I just want you to be aware of. This is super important as far as being able to dollar cost average into different crypto positions, which Mimi, that's our preferred strategy. Like, you have seen me smash buy, like some pretty heavy smash buy on a few things. It's pretty rare. It's actually pretty rare. Occasionally it's on like when we have an opportunity to get into an early round of a new token that's launching and we know that the fundamentals are very strong, then occasionally that's something that we do. That said, I haven't done that for anything I've reviewed, or if I've done it and then reviewed it, I've disclosed it. So yeah, we're pretty transparent about that. Usually when I smash buy on something and it's a heavy buy, I don't talk about it. I stay really quiet because I want to see how it's going to play out. That's just like, yeah, it's a bit like secret mining too. Appreciate seeing the view count pop up. Mimi, what should these new viewers do you think?
Say that again?
What should these new viewers do? What do you think we want them to do?
We want them to like our video and share.
Like and share. You heard the lady?
And subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe, do the things, click the buttons. You can do it. But let's show the folks a brand new tool for dollar cost averaging, calculating your dollar cost average. And it's called DCA-CC.com. You see it right here on the screen. I wish they had a dark mode. They do not. That's killing me, not going to lie. But it is a really great way to just show. You can see a calculator for all these assets, including, and I've just got it on screen right now, Monero. It'll show you how to, like, what your dollar cost average would result in Monero, depending on when you bought. It's got a calculator that will show you over time if you purchased at specific intervals and what your average purchase amount is, how much value you would accrue over time. And this is helpful in terms of calculating what mining can do for you too, because mining, by any other name, is a regular dollar cost average. You might get paid out daily, you might get paid out weekly or bi-weekly, maybe monthly from the mining pool. And so it looks an awful lot like a dollar cost average, very similar to that Bitcoin mining tool that we saw earlier, where it shows us the average price that we buy that asset based on power. And then we can figure that out over here on this calculator and say, okay, well, I'm putting it about this much. You can compare and contrast. What would it mean if I just put $50 into the asset itself, or if I paid a $50 power bill every day or every week or every month and mined it instead? So you can run those two different numbers and figure out for you what is the best possible path forward into this bear market where we're seeing everything go on sale. So anyway, I think it's an important tool. That's why I wanted to show it to the community. I think it's absolutely awesome. And I think you should be using tools like this to be better educated about your investments moving into cryptocurrency. Like, again, I'm not trying to tell you what to invest in. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. And, but I am trying to educate you, make sure that you get educated on the right tools moving forward. So I put that into our live chat right there. That should be going into our main description of the live streams moving forward. But DCA-CC.com, you can find all kinds of assets that you can calculate your dollar cost average. Anything for clicks is in the chat. What is anything for clicks saying, Mimi?
When is Bitcoin at 13K? We got close, didn't we? It got down to 14.
Oh yeah, we wicked down to about 14.
Yeah.
And yeah, as far as making a solid prediction for when it's going to go, guys, the chopsticks don't tell us that. They just kind of tell us where Bitcoin has been and where it's kind of generally headed as a trend. And then, I can make my best guess, which is usually that Bitcoin will either, it's one of two things. What was it again?
Up or down.
Yeah, it's one of those two things. Anyway, there you go. It does one of those two things. So sorry to burst your bubble. Anybody who's telling you that it definitely will hit certain price targets by definite dates is selling you something. They just are not even gonna be coy about that. Our current portfolio, I've added something to the GPU watch list called Proof of Memes. Remember the name, Proof of Memes. It uses the ETH hash algorithm or the Dagger Hashimoto algorithm to mine a brand new EVM style chain. Is it a long shot? Absolutely. And it's way down on the weekly. You see, it's almost 50% down. But I have met the team in person that is working on this project. They seem pretty serious about it, had regular contact with them, and they are putting in work to make it an EVM chain that is focused on meme and NFT ownership, right? So it's a long shot. It's a long shot. We'll see. But it is profitable to mine on the daily. So you're welcome. I'm pretty sure that your guy Crypto Mikkel knows about them. I'm pretty sure that Serpent X Tech is also mining this and is making content about it. So just be aware. It's something that you should know if you're into GPU mining. Neoxa is down on the daily and market cap is very, very low. This to me is not necessarily a bullish sign of like, oh, sweet, it's this highly speculative asset. And with such a low market cap, it's got all this growth ahead of it. No, it could go down another 90%. It can absolutely go to zero. Neox does not have a right to exist. It doesn't have a right to live in the crypto ecosystem. Sorry, but technological Darwinism is a thing. You should pay attention to the ones that are actually showing strength and an organic trading chart.
Once again, these are all opinions. Do your own research.
Smart lady. Yep. But those are just some observations that I'm making, is that you got to be careful. Some of these charts look manipulated, and the fact that it's got a low market cap does not mean it's going to somehow bounce back later on. It could absolutely wither. It could absolutely go chain dead. We don't know for sure. All right. So let's see. Crypto Crack says better late than pregnant. LOL. Wow. Crypto Crack. I didn't know you were female. All right. Hey, thanks for the heads up. I'll be a lot more gentle and delicate when I'm addressing you, Crypto Crack.
Hey.
Anything for Click says when fake woke people canceling ape. Wait, what? Fake woke people canceling ape? Who's canceling ape? What? So here's the funny thing. So I don't consider myself woke, but I do have a little bit of an issue when people use specifically Nazi symbolism as jokey material. You know, I'm not a huge fan of people going that far out of their way to be wacky.
Oh,
Just saying.
Crag
says, that's just my wife says, okay, you're going to backpedal it now. It's okay, Crag. It's okay. I don't want to hurt your feelings. It's okay. I'm going to be considerate. We don't get many female viewers, so, I don't want to make it weird now.
Well, I appreciate that comment. I really do. More than you know.
Jokes, guys. These are jokes. Seriously. You literally tune in for dad jokes, and you knew you were signing up for when you got over here. But yeah, guys, when it comes to canceling ape, I don't consider myself woke, and I don't consider myself fake woke, but for me, there are some lines, jokes that I won't make, and I generally won't make jokes about whatever. I won't go full Kanye on you. Put it that way, right? I won't go full Kanye on you. That's a very strange thing to say.
I don't know. You don't know. You don't know that. I don't know if Kanye knew he was going full Kanye until he'd already gone full Kanye.
Yeah, we'll just put it this way. So, anything for clips. Women not allowed in crypto. Yeah, it's true. It is it's a tree house that says no girls allowed.
Nay. I vehemently disagree with that statement.
The previous tree house of crypto that said no girls allowed has been burned to the ground lately. I don't know if you guys got the memo, but apparently we're building a new tree house. There you go. Building a new clubhouse. There you go. And it's not on a tree because girls can't climb up trees, right? We want to make it accessible. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys, the looks I'm getting. This
I will do a tree climbing contest with you any day of the week, and it will be so much easier for me than you because you weigh more than I do.
This woman, have you never seen me do pull-ups?
I don't care.
Okay.
I climbed trees all the time as a kid. And mountains.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
I would run up and down mountains just like a cougar.
Cougar part, I believe. Climbing trees? Well, I mean, I got to see that. I got to see it to believe it,
I think I've climbed more trees than you ever have.
It's highly, highly assumptive. But we'll have to put that to a test at some point. So back to the portfolios, guys. You know what doesn't lie? The charts. They literally never lie. Ever. Nobody lies when it comes to data feeds in crypto, ever. It's never happened. Yeah, we're literally dancing on the grave of FTX right now because they totally lied about their portfolio. But anyway, point is, here, when it comes to the decentralized feeds, this is okay data, right? It's all right. It's all right. I do trust CoinGecko pretty well. But our portfolio here of GPU mineable coins, you see in reverse order, stuff that's losing value right now. Maybe it's a value buy, but maybe it's bleeding out value. Got to be careful about what it is you actually put into your portfolio, what it is that you trust. You see the market caps alongside there. Conceal is now at below $1 million market cap. It pains me to see that. It pains me to see it because I know they're trying to build and trying to create value. Cortex up the most on the weekly. Same with Mimblewimble and Zano. Shout out to Crypto Zoidberg, who very graciously accepted a public debate against me on proof of work versus proof of stake. You can see that over on Monero Talk. We were live just under a week ago. Hard drive mineable coins. Let's sort those on the weekly. Filecoin taking a hit. Siacoin taking a little pump up to the upside. Signum also, ironically, going back up. Chia not dipping below that $30 mark. CPU mineable coins, Epic Cash is the biggest loser. Coin, the biggest winner. Coin also with a market cap of $27 million, still going strong, was able to see in Austin, Texas, the Coin team put on a phenomenal dinner. Sweetie, I wish you could have been there with me. It was a great dinner. It was a really great dinner. But really great dinners where you have guests of honor, including Udi Wertheimer. How do you get money to do that? How do you get investment to put on really fancy dinners at exclusive swanky clubs in downtown Austin?
I don't know.
Yeah, right? Begs a lot of questions, doesn't it? So I think that they've probably got some backing, or bare minimum, they've been able to build up a treasury. So hopefully they're okay. That said, at that same event, this is before Celsius totally imploded. Celsius was trying to get people out to their event too. So it's an old marketing ploy from all kinds of companies. Try to publicly show strength, even when internally you're hemorrhaging. You're like, whatever. You've had your heart like surgically removed. Just saying.
This business is not for the faint of heart.
No, it is not. And when you mix it in with marketing, it's really hard to figure out who's who and who's faking it, right? But over here on ASIC Mineable Coins, go to our 7-day overview, and then we'll reveal the market cap there as well and a little bit about the chart. But Dogecoin is our biggest loser, 9% down. However, some people would presume that it's going to do well. We've got a little piece of news, and I know we're going a little bit long on this stream, but it's important. A little bit of news from Elon Musk regarding that. Nervos Network is down. Litecoin is down. Litecoin, I think, is down because it is kind of rubber banding back, right? It's boomeranging back from a position of strength. Dogecoin is just down based on a movement from a few days ago. So yeah, I think we're going to see some interesting things coming out of there. Grin, Pirate Chain, Zcash are biggest winners. I wouldn't take that too seriously in the case of Grin, for sure. In the case of Pirate Chain, I don't know. Seeing what it might take to 51% attack it, I have a little bit less confidence in Pirate Chain. But here it is still doing its thing. Zcash also not my favorite coin. The announcement to move to proof of stake, I think, is going to be bearish. I don't think that they're going to survive that move to proof of stake, but I also don't think they're going to survive any kind of a revival of Tornado Cash style tools for Ethereum when they come back. That's all Zcash did. But Ethereum does it better. Even Ethereum, which has problems, does it better. FPGA mineable coins. We've got biggest loser in 0x Bitcoin, biggest winner in Digibyte. Man, Digibyte, it's like a bad penny. Keeps turning up. It's like Litecoin's little cousin that's like, hi, I also exist. People are, oh, okay, Digibyte, that's awesome. Thanks. You can go now. Bye. Anyway, that's Digibyte. Proof of stake smart contracts, 7-day. What do we got here? The market cap of Moonriver is, it's going to show resilience. It's part of the Polkadot ecosystem. Binance Smart Chain, or BNB, its main token, is also down, which I think is probably bullish in some ways. Biggest winner of this week has been Neo, and then Tron and Solana. But Solana, it had some ground to make back up. Will I trust Solana ever again? No. Too much weakness, too much failure. And now too close to the FTX scandal. I just don't see myself ever going back to ever trusting Solana at all. I was very reluctant to talk about it on this channel. I don't think I'm going to do much of that again. And then the junk drawer, we've got all kinds of crazy stuff that we just sort of speculated on. We got Volt Inu is our biggest loser, the old smart contract. I think it's probably finally been deprecated, so it's just like falling off a cliff. Celsius Network, you'd expect. Caspa, which is, of course, GPU mineable. Everrise, which has some other projects in the works. Biggest losers. Biggest winners on this side of the portfolio. Floki, GMT, Gold Retriever. What? Yep, back up 13% on the weekly. Yeah, we're happy about that. It has not made our portfolio whole. I'm just going to say it. Our personal holdings, I've mentioned that I did personally invest into Gold Retriever after I made the whiteboard explainer about Gold Retriever. I was not paid to do that either. Just want to disclose that again. Not paid in any way, nor was I given any preferential treatment nor any kind of early access to that token. So we took a hit like everybody else who bought after we made that little whiteboard explainer. Just want to make that very, very clear. IBC gang. Plenty going on there. Shade Protocol is down, which is exciting. That's bullish because they're building something that has real value. Secret Network also down, but also I think great project, fundamentally great project. All the privacy oriented stuff on the Cosmos Network. Why?
Oh, I wonder why. Could it be that people are a little more focused on it now?
Yep. So I think there's a lot of concern about whether or not there will be regulatory scrutiny on some of these projects. But guys, gals, we need it. Sorry, crypto crag, we need it. We need. Somebody's never living it down, and his name rhymes with crypto crag. All right, so yeah, let's see. Anything for clicks? Going back through some of our comments, says I think Elon's going to sell Twitter. He might be.
I hope not.
He might. You can never tell. Yeah, you just cannot tell. But
What if he sells Tesla instead?
He's proved. Hey, look. Oh, it's almost like you've read the news. Somebody did the homework. Somebody did the assignment. So, like the Deadwood says, SEC probing Tesla is a joke. I don't think that it is a joke. Anything for click says, what's Gold Retriever? If you look here on Mind Your Biz, on this channel, right? Not Mind Your Biz Classic. We are sunsetting Mind Your Biz Classic. It will take some time. We will be doing that though, and migrating all the content over to this channel exclusively. So that will be a 2023 endeavor. It's not happening today or overnight, but we are migrating all of our content back over to this channel. As I mentioned, this is the new home for Mind Your Biz. So tell a friend, right? Be subscribed, turn on notifications, all of them. But what's Gold Retriever? There's a whiteboard explainer on Mind Your Biz, and you should be able to see that now. If you are not familiar with what it is, you can look up that explainer. I'm not going to go through it here, but we have gone through it before, so you can find that out. But yeah, privacy-oriented projects, I think, are going to be under the microscope for a while of the SEC. I hope that some of them are viewed as utilities or as commodities. It would be great if they are able to just make it through. And as I understand it, Secret Network and Shade Protocol are run by Israeli teams, which for me is, it's a mixed bag. You want to know that anything that is related to surveillance is being worked on by some of the best in the business. Where are some of the best in the business? Israel. So like, if you want to do like counter surveillance vis-a-vis privacy, you want an Israeli team working on it. You just do. Beam is based out of Israel. These are some of the people who do some of the greatest innovation for companies like Intel and other hardware companies. So like, for my money, I want an Israeli developer working on anything that is InfoSec related or anything that's privacy related. I'm just going to say it, guys. I don't care if that shows bias. Don't care. I really don't care. You can be from any other side of the world, and that's fine. But it's just proven that that some of the best information security and surveillance software comes out of groups that are there. So just don't get angry at me for calling a spade a spade. 10 set gems. Well, we got some stuff that's winning, got some stuff that's losing. Fame is on the upswing. It's great to see. Definitely not at the price that I think a lot of us wanted it to be at when we first went in to grab some Fame. But the use case is pretty strong. I wish that the UFC would do something similar to what Fame has done. Do you remember Fame, sweetie?
Like the TV show?
So yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm like, Fame, I'm gonna live forever. That's where my mind went.
Yeah, I know. It was very tragically named. It's a Polish MMA group.
Oh.
That Fame. You know that Fame, right?
Them.
Everybody knows that Fame.
Right. Okay.
No? Doesn't ring a bell?
Sorry.
Yeah, right. I didn't think it would. So we covered that project, and that was sponsored content. They paid for my time to be able to look at that project. And I wish it was doing better, but they created a token that allows the fighters to get paid, that allows for third-party advertisers to pay for advertising on the platform, and then also allows for paying of NFTs that are generated in that their little MMA fighting group, that little federation out there in Eastern Europe. And so I thought, like, this is great. I mean, the UFC should take note. They should pay attention to this instead of just slapping, crypto.com on all their fighters' butts, which is what they did. Right, they took a giant like $100 million sponsorship or whatever it was, which is smart, right? They took a cash deal. They took a bunch of cash, big old bag of cash, to let their fighters wear the Crypto.com logo. But I think if they were smart, they would have gone non-exclusive and they would have permitted for their own token and ecosystem to be built, so that UFC could own their own sliver of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and they just didn't do it.
Maybe they just didn't understand.
I guess not.
I mean, this is the problem, right? It's the education. Even when you like the people making the regulations about crypto don't understand crypto.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So how was UFC supposed to understand it? They're just going to listen to the first person who like shows up and like, here, lots of money. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I can see why they would go that way.
Right. Yeah, no, it's true. The Deadwood also says, and thank you for the reminder, that one of the other big features of Fame MMA is they got scanned through a related project, which you saw on that side of the portfolio, through Hero. And Hero, they have this giant like body scanner technology. So they would take scans of the fighters on fight night, before and after.
Ooh.
So you could get an NFT of the fighter seeing like the before and after, like physical real world damage.
Dang.
It's pretty cool, right?
Oh my gosh, that makes me weep for the fighter.
I know. What's the thing? Like in Poland, the fighters are like, they're one part social media influencer, like men and women, the men and women fighters. And they have pretty equal representation between men and women fighters in this little, this MMA group. And so like, you got these women who are like, let's be real. Polish women are not like, it's a similar aesthetic to Russian women where they're like, all right, I'm going to do like the fillers and the injections and I'm going to like starve myself and work out like 15 hours a day or whatever. Like
that's an American thing, hon.
Oh, totally. But my point is that with Russian women, it's like absolutely, it's even next level. People
but they don't look, Russian women look like, even if they're doing those things, they look naturally beautiful. They don't look like somebody just punched them in the face 10 times.
Well, genetically they're designed. Yeah. Over many generations, they've bred for a certain aesthetic.
Yeah.
I hate to make it weird, but like that's the reality within Russia.
Russian women are beautiful.
So
full stop. I'm sorry. That's my observation of any, like I have friends who are Russian and they're gorgeous.
And so imagine some of those women being social media influencers, MMA fighters, like TV media personalities where they do like, they do the weigh in, like they do like the square up, like weigh in with another fighter. And they're like, all right, like, fist to the other person's jaw. And then like, sometimes they'll actually do like the staged fights and stuff on TV and, the Jerry Springer type stuff. They do all of it. So if you're a media personality, you're in every media personality, social media, you're on TV fighting, you're doing everything. And so it's just like, it's like kind of pure entertainment, right? It's kind of guilty pleasure of like, all right, there's gonna be conflict, and are they gonna fight? Oh yeah, they're gonna fight because they're fighters, right? So like they're MMA fighters, so they are like every argument on TV could eventually wind up in the octagon or the ring. They can't call it the octagon there. I think it's got it's a 7-pointed star, whatever. So yeah, it's kind of different, right? It's kind of weird. Anything for clicks says Russia is bad. TV told me. Oh
crap! Yeah, we're talking about Russia.
Nope, I'm talking about Poland. Don't get it twisted. Anything for clicks.
Poland. Sorry, I did not mention the R word on your show, hun.
Yes.
Apologies.
Besides, anything for clicks in Mother Russia, you click for anything.
I should have said Ukrainian women are gorgeous.
That's true. Ukrainian women are provably more gorgeous than Russian women. They are the best women in Eastern Europe. Doesn't get better.
Ukrainian women are really pretty too.
What's that?
Ukrainian women are really pretty too.
No, they are.
Eastern black women, they're just gorgeous. I don't know what the deal is there, but
Did you
they're
say
all
Eastern black women?
Eastern bloc, BLOOCK. I
was going to say, I've heard of a white Russian, never heard of a black Russian. I know, casually racist. It's not even
get canceled here, hun.
I know we are. It's so bad.
On the road to cancellation.
I totally kid.
Holy cow! It's like a blizzard outside.
Besides, guys, I can't be racist. I'm part Russian. Sorry, I'm part Polish.
You're part black.
That's true.
You're part Polish and part black.
Dude.
Afro-Cuban.
We're a mess here. We're a mess in terms of like, genetic lottery. You should see our kids too, right? Like
our little blonde, blue-eyed baby is like, I'm part black. Because he is.
And our little kid who's trigueño, who's dark, looks like Chicano almost, stands next to his brother who is blonde haired and blue eyed, and I'm like, yeah, no, they're both mine.
No, not
and
almost.
They're both hers.
Not
they're
almost.
Both
people.
Ours.
Oh yeah, we have a child who was literally told by people that he was adopted for years. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, whatever. Just it is what it is. People can be really crappy to each other sometimes, but not you, my neighbors community. You are the best around. All right, so let's jump through some of our portfolio. We're going to take a look at the RH ecosystem. You know what it is. You know what it stands for. Don't make me say it, because the algorithm will say weird things if I say Richard Hart. Or if I say hex, or if I say hexagon, don't make me say them out loud, because the algorithm will punish us.
Really?
What have I done? No, it won't. It really won't. But the point is, You don't have to be all in on the entire ecosystem to see that it's had some positive price action in years past, right? In months past. And currently, not so much. Some of their memes, Pulse Dogecoin, Cult DAO, Pulse Doge, all doing well. Literally everything else that's directly related to Hex is suffering on the weekly. Hex is struggling to get above the 3-cent mark. I've been saying for a while, we might see it go on sale for about a cent. That would be awesome to see Hex at about a penny again, because that would potentially signal that it's just got upside after that point. I think it's going to be correlated to Bitcoin, though, personally. Mimi, is that advice?
No, that's an opinion.
An opinion? Am I allowed to have those?
Opinion.
Am I allowed to have an opinion?
No.
I'm not?
What are you talking about?
Am I allowed
you're
to
allowed
change
to
my
be
opinion?
given your opinion
There you go.
by those who are, qualified.
Well, sorry, Kevin O'Leary is nowhere to be found, so I can't get somebody with a qualified opinion to tell me whether or not I'm allowed to talk about anything. So as of today, I'm just going to give an opinion, and if it changes, I'm going to change my opinion. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not bought and paid for by the Hexagon community, and they might like me, they might hate me. I really don't care. Yeah, so it's just there. It's on the portfolio. So because we're going to track it and let only the price action be our source of truth here and figure out if that makes sense for people. You track it for yourself, make those decisions this passionately. I heard Jay Chain say something last night on a Twitter Spaces we were doing together. He said, I'm married to my wife. I don't want to marry my crypto bags. It's just bad. There's room in your life to marry one person, and it shouldn't be your portfolio.
Yeah, because crypto does not care about you.
No, not the way a good woman would care about you and take care of you. Treat you right.
I love you.
Your portfolio can't do that. Guys, don't get it twisted. So Doge Chain ecosystem, this is also one of those things we're just kind of tracking casually because it's one of those speculative long bets. And it launched in a strange side of the market where maybe it does nothing. Maybe it doesn't survive this market. But if it does, maybe it does really well. So it's that big question mark around a speculative play. Just understand it's very, very speculative. MetaDoge is doing all right. Everything else is kind of struggling, but even MetaDoge, you see, less than $500,000 market cap. So just be careful. If it does become something or anything, it's not going to be extremely liquid when you try to take profits. And then with Dogechain itself, the main asset, $13.5 million market cap. Again, one of those things where it would have to gain strength in order to become liquid for you to actually be able to take profits. So just keep yourself safe there. That's the best possible way to do that. Anything for Quick says, I was married to BitConnect. Hey. Good job. What's up? Anything for clicks. All right. But moving on, we got our news. Are we going to talk about news?
Finally.
This late in the morning? In this economy? News? We're going to talk about it? Well, let's talk about what the CFTC said. What did it say?
The CFTC says Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether are commodities in fraud compliant against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried.
That's crazy. They just informally, just off the cuff, just decided to say yeah, we know there's been some consternation. We know that Gary Gensler said some stuff and hinted at some stuff about Ethereum, but we just think that's a commodity. Just like that, overnight, just cleared that up for us. Hey, thanks, CFTC. Would have been really cool if you had done that, I don't know, years ago when you were asked directly, formally, in writing by crypto companies. But now that SBF is in custody and you're all angry at SBF and we're all focusing on this joker and he's dominated the news cycle for the better part of a month? Mm-hmm. Now you can say it? I don't know. My BS detector's going off here, Mimi. Something doesn't seem right.
It's a long game. This is part of the long game.
Yeah.
What part? We can only speculate, I guess.
Right? Hey, chat, tell us what you think about that particular news article coming out about the CFTC, and it's sort of off the cuff. It's from the hip shooting response about Ethereum specifically being a commodity. Most of us, I think, expected that, this asset, Orange Coin Good, right? Orange Coin Good asset behind me. We thought that would become a commodity. So what's going on with the Ethereum being named as a commodity? Do you think that's appropriate? I want to hear from you in the chat. Witcherworks says, does that answer my question about ETH? Should I make a node now? Well, that's a great question. I think we need to make some content about that too. But I mean, I've been saying for a while, if you want to be using any network, you should be running a full node or know somebody who runs a full node. Let's see. Automatic beats. Stuff's getting real sexual again.
Oh, we're holding back.
Dude, yeah,
Oh,
you have no idea how strong the innuendo game is here. Like, if you think my dad joke game is strong, where do you think I practiced that dad joke game? Where do you think it came from, huh? You think I gotta tell you about the facts of humor here, right? The facts of life and the facts of humor. But yeah, this I think is probably bullish. What do you say, Mom Biz?
It's probably bullish.
Bullish, I think, for Ethereum. I think it pumped on this news. I think this was specifically the thing that got Ethereum up.
Wouldn't surprise me. Got Ethereum up on the rise.
Yep, up on the rise. Price action going hard on Ethereum for sure. But anyway, that's our first bit of news. She's blushing. Mission accomplished, bros. All right, next bit of news. Let's just briefly touch on this because I really don't want to see this idiot's mug on our show again. If I can avoid it, Mimi, I'm sorry. Is that insensitive of me?
I think you might hurt his feelings.
That's true. He is a vegan who can't stay in jail because, like he said, I mean, he's got delicate constitution. He can't be in jail. That might hurt his feelings. You're right.
Well, you know, one might have very sensitive feelings after making $10 billion disappear. I don't know.
One might have a very, very sensitive butthole after staying in a prison. And, you know, anyway, just saying.
Oh my gosh.
This guy, I mean, whatever. He hasn't done anything that, would get him probably shanked in prison. But I think it's like, is it too soon for us to start getting the hashtag trending SBF didn't kill himself? I don't know. I don't know if he's that important. He might not know enough. There might not be enough of an actual mastermind in this character for that to happen. He might not know enough. He might not have been at the head of things enough. There could have been other people who were more in charge. I've definitely heard that's the case.
Spending his time in the sick bay, receiving his medications on time.
He is with 5 other inmates in a dorm-style setting. Oh, wow. It's like Friends.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, right? I mean, we don't want to separate him from the things that he knows. Only his lawyers and personnel from the American Embassy can visit him in person. Personnel. Is it too late to put in for a badge over there at the American Embassy in Nassau? You can do it, right? Be like, hey, SBF, what's going on, man? I'm your caseworker. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Anyway. Point is, I actually don't care much about the guy. I don't even think that he's really the mastermind. I don't even think he's the person we should be pointing at when it comes to all this stuff happening. I think there's so many layers of intrigue, so many layers of strings being pulled with this, that he's obviously a figurehead. He's obviously a public persona who's a fall guy right now. And yeah, he may have been involved in some of the stuff that was really bad, but I don't think he was the decision maker. And if he is Epsteined, he will be a sacrificial lamb, right? He'll be a sacrifice, a pawn that they're willing to sacrifice in a much bigger game. I know it's a harsh thing to say.
Seriously, like the guy is sitting here like what, the day before he's arrested, he's on a Twitter space chatting away while people can hear like the clicking of him on his game. You know, he's just super relaxed. Nothing bad's going to happen to me. Ugh.
Yeah, no, it's true. Oh my gosh, everyone's throwing out some really great like market stuff. Apparently there's still a gig and a hash on Pink Chain. Craig's asking about Conflux. Witcherworks says mentioning Coco's BCX. Apparently it's on a top 10 chart of CoinMarketCap. I think it's one of those interesting sort of like daily pumps or whatever there. Not, I think, the most relevant connection. Guys, is there choppiness in the signal too? I'm looking at our preview and seeing that it looks a little bit choppy there, but I look over at our streaming software and I'm seeing things unbroken. So you tell me if you see any kind of choppiness there. Love to know. Barry Merritt says his playing dumb public statements make it clear he is a psychopath. My observation.
They all are.
You may be right. That's the thing, though. All the psychopaths are in league, right? So when they betray one or when they use one as a useful idiot, that's the thing about psychopaths is they are useful idiots looking for other useful idiots because they think they can go and defraud somebody else. And so they then get defrauded. It's weird. So you guys are saying you hear me fine, and Barry is saying latency. Okay. So I want to make sure visually it's not too choppy either. But yeah, appreciate the feedback there. Trying to make sure the show runs smoothly for you, dear audience member. While you're here, please be sure that you share the link while we're live. It does help. Be sure that you are definitely subscribed with all notifications turned on. The notification system works based on your input. You have to tell it all notifications, or it'll give you some problems there. We're building up strength here on the new home for Mind Your Biz. And as I mentioned before, we're migrating all of our old content, all of the classic content, Mimi, when I was, all those really late nights and weekends when I was just in the basement interviewing people from around the world. And yeah, I know. Let's make sure that those count by migrating them over to the new channel. And you please make sure that all of those sleepless nights that our family endured while I was doing those interviews, in some cases, world first interviews, like with the first developer of Monero or of privacy coins, make sure that they count by hitting that subscribe button, turning on all notifications, sharing this channel with somebody who needs to get better information about crypto. Anyway, I'm gonna keep shilling because if I don't know who will. But yeah, I think he's a useful idiot. I think the comments about him, about SBF being a psychopath, what's your take? What's your read on it, Mimi?
Well, like I said before, I think they're all psychopaths, but is he the master psychopath?
They're all psychopaths, but is he the master psychopath? Hashtag goals, be the master psychopath.
I think, I don't know. Is he the head of things? I think if you know the person's name, then that's not the person in charge.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So looks, former FTX CEO was remanded at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until February 8th, 2023. Did I call it the other day or did I call it? He's going to be detained until well after next fiscal year. He will not be available to go to any of the House committee sessions on any of this stuff related to FTX. And I think that the intentional plan is to push it into Q2 of 2023 before there's another meeting scheduled. And it's going to largely fall out of the public consciousness about like FTX being the big bad, the boogeyman of crypto, in the same way that largely in public discourse, we're not hearing people talk about Celsius the way they should, right? Even though we know people are going to be out by millions of dollars, right? Family offices and small investment groups and financial advisors and stuff are going to have their clients are going to be out by millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, but we're not talking about Celsius in the same way. So the other psychopaths that are in charge of handling FTX and handling SBF, they're going to make sure he can't say anything incriminating or dumb publicly until about that point. And then at that point, who's going to be visiting him? The official people from the embassy that can go visit him? Yeah, his handlers. People that can go coach him on exactly what to say. So he doesn't screw up like he's done maybe on Twitter Spaces. And he sticks to the cards. And they have a very specific narrative that is related from the pulpit there. That's my take on it. Maybe I'm way off here. People are saying like he's going to get Epsteined and SBF didn't kill himself. I joke about that. I don't see that happening personally.
You never know.
Yeah. No, fair point. Yeah, nothing guaranteed there. But yeah, I think it's just going to take a while before he's ever allowed to speak publicly again. He will be totally, yeah. Anything for clicks is interested in Caroline. I don't know, man. I hear she's easy, so good luck with that. But I don't think you need luck. Just saying. Barry Merritt says psychopaths have a fake public persona. They lack empathy. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the tough thing about being, about dealing with psychopaths is that you're dealing with them in real life, right? Like they're reality. They're reality of modern life. And platforms, even like this. I mean, what kind of a person does it take to decide that they want to be on camera talking about controversial things? I know I'm going to incriminate myself a little bit here, but
are we talking about psychopaths versus sociopaths?
No, they're saying psychopaths, and
they're saying psychopaths.
I'm glad you're bringing it up.
Wouldn't a sociopath be more invested in being on camera than a psychopath?
A sociopath would be, and I identify as a benevolent sociopath. Thank you very much.
Benevolent.
I think I'm using my sociopathic powers for good.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe. I mean, I hope so, right? I think track record matters too, right? Like there are people who have certain tendencies and you can see it in your own kids, right? If you have kids, you can see it in your own kids where some of them just like have this really strong affinity for the limelight. They're a total ham, or they just try to dominate your attention, right? As a parent, or like the attention of authority figures when they're at school and stuff. And yeah, you just hope that you can shape them into the sort of person that uses that inner drive for good. So, benevolent sociopathic behavior.
All right.
And politicians tell themselves that they're working for the greater good, but the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath is you can learn some of the behaviors of a psychopath as a sociopath and use them for good. Psychopaths are actually kind of without a moral compass. They don't know whether or not they're using it for good. They tell themselves they're using it for good. It tends to be a different locus of control and a different locus of empathy, which is to say there is no real empathy. I really appreciate that distinction put in the chat there. Thank you for bringing those facts. Barry Merritt says Mashinsky is a narcissist. Hey, confirmed at the same time. Like I've met the guy in person. I've shook his hand. He does a really good job of making people feel seen and of helping people get the conversations that they need. So like he's really solid at networking and he's really solid at throwing a party. And you can't just get a very good read on somebody with one or two interactions. Anybody who says like, oh yeah, I knew for sure this guy was full of crap, like Elon says about SBF, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. I don't think anybody has a barometer quite that good. I've got a decent BS detector.
Better than most.
Yeah, but you've seen me and my BS detector fail in some situations. Nobody's got it 100%.
Not really, actually.
Okay. Well, I don't want to oversell it.
You're usually spot on. I'm like, no, I'm sure they're nice. And then later it's like, oh, he totally read that, like totally on the money. That person was terrifying.
I don't want to oversell it either. It's easy to be a pessimist, and I don't want to come across as a pessimist or seeing the worst in people. That it's just easy to be like negative about people. Like, yeah, guy's full of crap. Because you could be at least 50% of the time. You're right? Where it's like, guy's full of crap. And a lot of people are full of crap, right? So you can be right just by being pessimistic, right? So you want to keep hope eternal, right? That people can be good, maybe. But let's move on from people. Let's talk about platforms. Let's talk about ideas, right? I hate talking about people for too long. So the block has some news. This was interesting. You read about this and you weren't totally certain what it meant. Mm-hmm. You mind reading this off for us?
Microsoft prohibits crypto mining on online services without permission.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Right? So they updated its policy to specify will not allow cryptocurrency mining without prior approval. This comes into effect or went into effect December 1st, applies to all users, including paid customers. Ooh. Well, I guess, if it's a policy, should include paid customers, but apparently. The register reported on the change, prohibits them from mining, and let's see, it's under the accepted use policy. Their exact verbiage, neither customer nor those that access an online service through customers may use an online service to mine cryptocurrency without prior written approval. And here's the thing. We want to know why. Google already did this. And apparently Amazon Web Services also prevents the free tier from allowing people to mine cryptocurrencies. If you pay on Amazon Web Services, they just don't have the administrative bandwidth to field all these requests, right? So it's like, hey, if you're paying us, fine, you can go ahead and do it. If you're not paying us, don't waste our resources mining cryptocurrencies. In my mind, that makes sense on AWS because of the number of people who just jump in and try to take advantage, right? And for mining Monero, it's kind of not, it would not be that bad using free tier services to just max them out and then get Monero on the other end, right? Like if those compute cycles are just lying there idle anyway, why wouldn't you get some Moneroge, which is the actual term for multiple Monero coins? Why wouldn't you get some? Why wouldn't you, right? Like, makes sense to me. A follow-up here from Bitcoinist kind of gives us a little bit of clarity on this. So here's why.
Why?
Yeah, right? We always want to know why.
Okay, do you mind if I read that
Yeah,
top one?
please
Okay,
do.
according to the Register's report, big tech giant Microsoft banned crypto mining from its Azure cloud services. The company updated its universal license terms for online services issued in early December to include the new policy. I don't think that answers the why.
It does not answer it yet, but yet it joins others in banning cloud mining. Let's see. So unlike Microsoft, Google and other tech giants banned it a while ago. Thus, the register speculates that the change to their policy is related to the downside trend in digital assets. So it's much more motivated by the current market where they see like, oh, this is a losing battle for us. We would not be able to bill people for their use in crypto mining.
Money.
Hey, they run a business, not a charity. Can you blame them?
Oh, but I thought that this was all about like all wealth is our wealth, not one person's wealth, and it should all be equally distributed. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, yeah, you could be right. So therefore they noted Microsoft might be worried miners could not pay their bills. Hey, I get it. That makes sense. I think that AWS's stance on it is like, hey, if you're already a paid customer because you prepay your cloud bills, or you pay at a certain point, then just like let them pay, right? Let them pay for the services and use it however they want. With Microsoft, I think that they're a little bit more price sensitive, right? If somebody is unable to pay a bill because they were banking on money coming out from their mining, then they probably can't afford to eat those losses the way that Amazon could. So
Right.
makes sense to me. But there you have it. If you were looking at cloud mining to get your Monero or your other CPU mineable coins, think again. This is kind of more nerdy right here, but Open Zeppelin, what's the news here on the block?
Okay, Open Zeppelin releases Metaverse security service, signs up the Sandbox as client.
Ooh, Metaverse Security Service, Sandbox. So apparently Sandbox hired Open Zeppelin for a comprehensive security analysis, and they've, this is very much needed. Metaverse projects really need more thorough audits to make sure that they're not only secure from all of the Web 2 standpoint, or all of the data security standpoint, which is already kind of tricky when it comes to massive online multiplayer games, but then also the Web3 tie-ins, right? You take all of the possible security loopholes from the legacy gaming ecosystem, and then you add people's crypto wallets on top. What could go wrong, right? It's hard. It's like, these are hard problems to solve.
Yeah.
Anybody who tries to trivialize it and say like, oh, I'm going to marginalize it down to just this one issue, like, good luck with that. These are hard problems to solve. And anybody that doesn't have a big old stash of money to solve these problems, that's why you don't see a lot of grassroots metaverse projects, because it requires millions of dollars to be able to pay for development and pay for security and pay for audits like this. So I think it's bullish that Open Zeppelin is doing this. They've got a little bit of insight here. Hopefully it actually works out well. They've got a little bit of how-to here over on the block. So if you want to read that more in depth, go check out that article. But let's move on to the next from the block. This is pretty big news, actually.
Okay. Coinbase now helps recover unsupported ERC20 tokens sent by mistake. And yeah, you like have to explain this to me like I am 5, because I was just like, that's nice. I have no idea what that means.
Okay. So if you have a Coinbase account, they will give you, like if you choose to send Ethereum to your Coinbase account, they'll give you an Ethereum wallet address. Well, those Ethereum wallet addresses, if you were controlling it on your own, you could send any ERC20 token to it. You could send tokens like Chainlink, or tokens like stablecoins, all kinds of stablecoins.
Okay.
But on Coinbase, if you were to send, say, USDC, which they're favorable towards, they could receive that, and they would show that in your balance. If you sent them something like we'll say the Frax stablecoin, or something a little more esoteric like Liquidity, LUSD stablecoin, they don't support that. So if you logged into your Coinbase account and said, okay, well, I just sent $1 million of liquidity over here, you'd be out of luck. Your $1 million would not show up in your balance because Coinbase manages that wallet and they don't support it. But now they've got a tool that if you sent it to that wallet address that they control, you could go ahead and recover it anyway.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, massively bullish for the ecosystem.
Well, especially for, all the noobs like me who don't know what the heck they're doing. And kind of, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. And this has happened to a lot of people. They're probably noticing that they're sitting on what is likely now 8 or 9 figures worth of value that has accidentally been sent to their wallets, where people thought like, oh, it's just an Ethereum address, so I could send any ERC20 token, right? And then they found out later on that wasn't supported. So this is an act of goodwill on Coinbase's part. I talk about Coinbase pretty negatively most of the time. I don't encourage people to use it. I actively discourage people from using it, like stay away if you can avoid it. But if you already have a Coinbase account and you had some tokens that were sent to it by accident, here you go. You're in luck. They're going to let you retrieve them. Kind of a big deal, I think. Comments coming in. Let's see. Barry Merritt, they banned USDT. Yeah, no, it's a good thing they're allowing for retrieval here. Let's see. Latrell jumps in and says, good day, all. I got here late. No problem. Please do be sure that you have all notifications turned on. I mean, hey, it's not your job to check out Mind Your Biz live streams, but appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Barry also says, big tech globalism. It implied no nodes also. And Barry says, I use Coinbase for payments. Yeah, it's funny. Coinbase Commerce is very simple. on the receiving side of payments, Coinbase Commerce makes it very easy to be able to receive payments and then be able to pull just fiat payments into your bank. There are other platforms that allow for this as well. So like, again, I don't want to just unilaterally and universally discourage everybody from ever using Coinbase. It's useful. It's used rather because it's useful in certain situations. I think for most people, though, it is a dangerous precedent to set to rely on centralized entities like Coinbase. And I think we do need to go over a lot more. Mimi, I've got to go over a lot more ways of showing people to set up their own payment gateways, including a code base that I forked a few years ago. That I felt so strongly about this that I forked a code base and started to just mess with it in my spare time because I needed to understand how these payment gateways could work for us. So I felt that strongly about it, where like, I'm not even a developer. And I was like, I got to understand how this works. So we don't need these third parties. There are ways to host this on your own. And then you can use other services to take profits in USD if you needed to. So we got to do a content stream about that. More likely going to happen via the newsletter first, guys. If I sound like a broken record or I'm shilling the newsletter, it's because I want to know that when I release anything like that, that it has the redundancy and the resilience of email. So we're setting up on Substack. We've got thousands upon thousands of subscribers that are active and they're interested just like you. And they check out the messages there, and we'll be embedding some of our video content in those emails as well. So yeah, did you know that we can set up crypto payments without a custodian like Coinbase?
No, I did not.
Do you care?
I do.
Jokes. I put her on the spot. She's like, no, but there's other things that I want to do right now. Not talk about cryptos. Yeah. So anyway, the block has a bunch of really great content here. This is one that you chose, Mimi, and I'm so glad that you did. This caught your attention. What's our headline here?
Okay, it says zero knowledge proofs could solve CBDC privacy concerns, research shows. And I was just like, yeah, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, awesome.
Is this important? Do I need to know this?
You do. And I'm so glad that it caught your attention. First off, it was, you tell me what caught your attention about this headline.
Mostly that I just don't understand what most of it said in the headline. Zero knowledge proofs. What are those? Could solve. I know what CBDCs are, privacy concerns, like CBDC privacy concerns. I guess that's what caught my attention is someone saying they were solving problems with CBDC privacy concerns.
Yes, absolutely. And here's kind of the kicker of this headline. Zero knowledge proofs is what Tornado Cash used.
Okay.
So regulators get scared when privacy is too good.
Of course.
And Tornado Cash was just a little too good for their comfort level. So that got shut down.
What do we need to do to respond to our, our psychopathic leadership as citizens? Like, what kind of writing campaign do we need for our politicians to show that we're a little bit more aggressive on the front of protecting our privacy?
That's a great question. I think that we do need to have sample bills written. We need to send sample bills out to our elected officials and then say, hey, if you can support this, then you'll be like the hero of crypto. And I think that's one area in which the BitBoy crypto team is doing really well, is that they, at great personal expense, they have invested in that.
Yeah.
And they've tried to get politicians, I wouldn't say bought and paid for, but they've been able to send that sample language out to those politicians to get them to sign off on it and say, no, this is my bill. Because politicians, that's one of the things that drives them, right? Is that psychopathic narcissist personality profile.
Right.
Saying like, well, nope, I've got to self-promote in everything I do. Like, why would I approve a bill that I didn't write?
Yeah, I think a lot of that messaging kind of gets lost in the mire of like, oh, Ben's acting this way or that way, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know, it's really interesting to see online, to have been there when, you know, that crazy lady started like screaming and ranting in the audience at Decentral, and see in, you know, the aftermath, like just the bits and clips of like, oh, we called this woman a child molester, and that's kind of all people see. But to have seen,
Well, that
like,
was dumb. I'm just gonna say it outright. Like, and I think that I've got a lot of respect for BitBoy's team. I know a lot of them. We're on a first name basis. Like we talk privately and such. And so like, you know, I've met up with Ben privately, just to hang out and to talk and stuff about whatever, about life and things. And I have an appreciation for who this person is, right? Aside from like, outside of the sort of like cameras and the lights and stuff. And I like him. I do, guys. I hope I don't get canceled for saying that, but I like Ben, and I won't allow for people to like, you know, for just like to mindlessly crap talk him. But that was dumb. That was really dumb.
Well,
that was a dumb thing to say.
I think, you know, my impression is he's a very passionate person, and, you know, like you get him on something that he feels really strongly about, and that kind of comes out, and he's not cool headed. And then people kind of catch him on that on camera. Like, you know, he looks like he's just really like angry and out of control. But like, if you'd seen the whole thing, you know, he talks about, like, we need to be a united front in this space. We need to like stop being so tribal, become a united front so that, you know, we can win where privacy is concerned, you know, like the battle is here right now. And we're so busy, like, kind of nipping at each other that we're not stepping up to the plate. Like talk is cheap, right? And we can sit here and complain about FTX all day online and on Twitter, but it's like, have you written your congressman about these concerns? Have you talked to them about, like, you know, like why we need to like create policy that benefits privacy, that benefits the support of I'm going on and on. What?
Wow. Okay. So we had a pretty significant slowdown in the amount of data that we're sending there, and I apologize for that. Apparently, something's going on with probably my VPN. Looks like we're almost back to our main strength there, though. Sorry, guys. I hate for that to be the case. I think we're kind of struggling there. I don't want to cut it. I don't want to change VPN locations or do anything dire that could cause a problem for the stream. But you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There we go. It's back. Crap.
Wow. The machine at work, you guys. Did we tickle the algorithm there?
Maybe that's possible.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I don't really know what happened there, but that was a little bit strange.
I think they picked up on the word freedom there and they got kind of scared. Yikes.
Maybe. Yeah, there you go. Thanks so much, Automatic Beat. Says the audio was good. I'm glad it got through really well. So I probably need to keep a simpler background too. Barry Merritt comes through with some dropping some knowledge there. It's very important to acknowledge. Yeah, with the CBDC, they will most likely be essentially non-fungible and serialized. I talked about this on the Crypto Mindset Reset last night when they had me on the live stream, that the issue with NFTs, the one issue with NFTs is that they are like homing beacons, right? Think of them like a little black box and a little, you know, old school 1960s, 70s spy movie. Little black box with a little, you know, telescoping antenna that you pull out. It's got a little blinking red light on it. Does that help you imagine the problem at this point? Because everywhere an NFT goes, it's non-fungible. It's unique. And it just kind of like, yeah, it's always going to cause a problem. You can always identify what it is because it is not interchangeable with anything else. Yeah.
Sorry.
Right?
I just read.
I know. Careful, Automatic Beats. You're giving Mom some ideas here. If I start stuttering on the stream, you know why. She's a challenge accepted. See if we can get Mind Your Biz to lose his train of thought. Come on. Oh my gosh. All right. So jumping back in. So zero knowledge.
What are zero knowledge proofs?
I'm so glad you asked. Zero knowledge proofs are a mathematical way, a cryptographic way for one entity to prove to another entity that they have something or know something without revealing what that thing is to a second or a third party.
Okay.
It's that simple as far as the high level idea. So I could tell you, for example, like, oh yeah, I've got, I owe you something for a party, right? You came to a party, the cover fee was so much, right? For you, and the kids. And your friend is like, all right, Mimi, you owe me $150 for this party, you know, for the whole fam or whatever, because we had expenses and stuff. And you have you have your account where you want to be able to send that $150. But well, hey, your main account has more than $150 in it. And so on chain, you want to be able to prove to that person, oh yeah, I've got $150. Like I'll send it to you next Tuesday, right? I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Okay.
And they say, all right, well, I need proof that you got $150. I'll let you float it for a little bit, but I need proof. And a zero knowledge proof would be a way that you could say, all right, well, I'm going to prove to you, like I'm going to send like a signature proving that I have at least $150 in this account without revealing to you everything about my account or showing you my wallet address.
Got it.
That could be a use case there. Or like with a password manager, right? Something along those lines. Somebody can ask, hey, do you have the codes to be able to access this thing over here? Well, yeah, I want to prove to you that I have the codes to do that. And so you can reveal to them like, yes, I have a successful, like I've got something that fits the description of what you need it to be, right? It has more than 8 characters. It has special characters. It's got uppercase and lowercase characters, and it's got a number, right? But I don't want to reveal to you what it is. So being able to prove to them, you could use a zero knowledge proof saying, yeah, it fits all those characteristics without revealing to them what it is. And zero knowledge proofs are a way, cryptographically, I'm oversimplifying it, but cryptographically, it's a way to then send to that person a proof that you've matched all those requirements. So, and then when it comes to cryptocurrencies, zero knowledge proofs also allow you, the way that Tornado Cash did, to be able to send something and then not have to track back to its provenance to a different wallet.
Okay.
Right. So the crypto would show up in one wallet and almost like magic, right? It'd be like, oh, cool. So one full Ether showed up in this wallet. We don't know which wallet it came from.
Okay, so it's proof, but proof with privacy.
Yep, it is. Yeah, proof with privacy, and it can allow you to transact privately. Yeah, what's going to happen after the stream?
What always happens after the stream,
or
before.
You're gonna have to imagine that, gentlemen. You're gonna have to imagine that.
No, no one needs to imagine anything.
Yeah, there you go. Ask Chat GPT. It'll tell you it can't do that. It can't tell you. Also, gentleman never tells. All right, so moving on. But yeah, zero knowledge proofs are really important.
Okay.
And that's why you heard me talking so vehemently about Tornado Cash. Why it was so important that it was a decentralized, permissionless protocol too. And why it's so significant that the main developer got arrested. So we mentioned Elon Musk earlier on in the show, right?
Yeah. Elon Musk sells Tesla shares worth $3.58 billion. Will he buy Bitcoin or Dogecoin? Yeah,
because he definitely wouldn't buy anything else. I mean, he bought Twitter for like 10 times that amount.
Right.
Jeez. I don't know. Because it could go into developing more of the Twitter platform or open sourcing more of the Twitter platform. But is it a safe bet that he's going to get some more crypto? Maybe, right? $1 billion or 3.5 would be a healthy chunk of either one of those. If he bought Dogecoin, that would be a massive percentage of the market cap of Dogecoin. Within Bitcoin, not so much. And he did his so-called liquidity test with Tesla, having some on the, or was it SpaceX, having some on its balance sheet and then selling a bunch of Bitcoin. He could do that all over again.
Right.
Because, yeah, he did that liquidity test and Bitcoin survived. So imagine picking up $3.5 billion worth of Bitcoin as we near what could potentially be a bottom of $10,000 Bitcoin.
Oof.
It's a winning move, yeah? I don't see that being the same winning move for Dogecoin. Personally, I just really don't. Like controlling all the Dogecoin network, not the same as being able to benefit from all of the liquidity and price appreciation of Bitcoin personally. Because it can scale. Dogecoin at that same price, not going to scale in the same way. But that's my take on it. And last bit of news, Finbold has a headline here. You mind reading it off for us?
Crypto whales are massively stockpiling Bitcoin. Here's why it's important.
I think that for my part, I kind of explained why I think it's important and why I think it would be the masterstroke for Elon Musk to massively stockpile Bitcoin. Speaking of masterstrokes, we got to end this stream. Something urgent just came up.
Masterstrokes.
So... Mind your biz community, if it hasn't been awkward enough. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you being live. Appreciate you hitting all the buttons, thumbs up, be subscribed, click all notifications, share it with a friend who loves dad jokes, really terrible midlife innuendo, and all things cryptocurrency. 360 review. Without making it strange, I platonically love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. We're doing the dance outro now. This is the thing.
Is there actual music playing?
somewhere.